pretty good. Trying to get used to doing this camera life. It's not that bad. All right, that's not bad. Well, see if anybody comes onto the live today. Try to do some pre-flight inspections here. A couple things that I want to be doing here for sure. And also check out my expedition. The expedition is more or less what I want to be looking at. So we'll see if my buddies Yuvraj and Phil and Tim come on the live. We'll see if even my buddy Eric tries to hop on here. But today I'm trying to do a couple things with the pre-flights. Yuvraj, I just dropped your name. That's awesome, man. What's going on, dude? We're here in the shop, and tomorrow I'm going to get the chance to go flying, and I want to do some pre-flight inspections. I'm debating on which paramotor to fly tomorrow, whether we're going to take up the Expedition or we're going to fly the Star. So, Yuvraj, do you know what I'm supposed to look for when I do a pre-flight inspection first? Where is that tool? I can't seem to find my rags right now. Huh. I actually don't know where my stuff's at right now. Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? You're a fan of mine? That's awesome. Yep, these are my Paramotor fans. So what's going on? So I'm here trying to do some pre-flight inspections. I'm debating on whether to fly my Expedition tomorrow or fly the Star here, which I can try to turn the Star a little bit more so you guys can see it a little better. Boom, that's a little bit better. So normally, my boat engine. So the boat engine, Yuvraj, I've ran into some other problems, which I can talk about that more later, but the motor's actually, I'll turn the camera. The motor's right over there on the table, and I actually am having a problem with the crankshaft, so I can't actually get it out of the bottom of the motor, which is a little upsetting. So the weight of the paramotor engines or the boat motor? So how you buy a paramotor, if it's going to be your first time buying one, the right thing to do is you go seek out proper training, and your instructor will actually lead you to the right direction. Because it is really important. It's really important to actually know what your skill level is to suppose to what type of a paramotor you should buy. Like for me, I've learned that I actually really like the SkyMax models. You know, I'm a big fan of them. They're super lightweight. And Yuvraj just asked how much they weigh. Like the typical Moster 185 motor, I believe, weighs about 41 pounds, 43 pounds, somewhere in that range. I'm going to actually have to double check that now. Yuvraj, you got me actually thinking a lot about what they weigh. But regardless, let's turn this a little more so we can see both of my paramotors. But yeah, so like for me, like when I do these 43,000. I don't understand what you mean by that. 43,000. No, so typically like a paramotor will cost like around like US dollars, they cost around like, okay, so that's euros. I think you're talking about euros. So, US dollars, we're talking about anywhere from $7,000 to about $10,000, depending on the size you go with, or if you want to have ones that have an electric motor. Yeah, how much? So in US dollars, like this model here, for example, the Expedition and the Star, they're roughly around, I want to say like $8,000 aircrafts, $9,500 depending on the engine you put on there. So like like for me, I didn't want to have the electric start and have all the other things on there only because I was more worried about having other slight of issues. So like for me, because they're already two-stroke engines, I want it to be very basic with them, very simple. So I went with just the pull start, and pull starts make these generally a lot cheaper, I guess. But really, with paramotoring, it's not about the cheapest. It's realistically about what kind of skill set you have and what your type of flying is like. Like for me, when I actually purchased that Moster 185, I kind of half regret that I didn't get it with E-Start, which is, you know, a electric start instead of having that pull start. Only because in the beginning, I didn't quite understand how to fire them up right. And now, you know, I got it down, and pull start's not a problem at all. But it still would be pretty nice to have the electric start on at least one of my models. Can you show your sedan car outside? Saudi Arabia. So I'm pretty sure that it's more popular over where you're at, my man. So really, like, I feel like paramotoring is a much more popular thing across seas over by your way. But like from over here, yeah, I could. It would cost me a lot of money to send it to you. But if you were to buy it from a company that, you know, already sells them, like, you know, SkyMax is on your side. So like, I feel like if you were to buy directly through them, it'd be a lot cheaper. Oh yeah, so out in the desert area, right? Is that where you're at? Yeah, that would be like the best type of flying ever. Realistically, I feel like if you were to go flying out that way, you would be like, you know, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I have a lot of people that are messaging me right now on YouTube and Facebook, and also just my regular messages. But so Yuvraj, can you see me actually pretty clear? Because I just did something with the camera. Scoob, what's up, dude? What's happening? I like how when you just said something here, I guess you're still considered a, what's it called on my lives? Because your name actually lights up blue here, like you can, I guess, drop your YouTube channel on here and stuff like that. Call my bad, bro. Oh, no. Moderator, that's right. So yeah, so what, dude, what happened to your prop? What, you want to go take off and did you hit the ground? Yuvraj, oh, I don't know what you meant right there, but I think you just took the message off, or the message just got deleted somehow. So if you want to get more info about paramotoring, I do have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel that I go more into detail about, I guess, how to buy these or what to do or how to come. Eric, what's up, dude? Eric, it's awesome that you're on the live right now. What's happening, man? I'm glad that you just dropped by and said what's up. So I've realized that my SkyMax Star here runs around like 300 degrees, about 350 degrees if I'm full throttle. And this Moster 185 runs around 220 to about 275 degrees at full throttle. So, Eric, what are you doing, dude? And really, if you want more you can ask me away whatever questions you would like to know about these paramotors. And you can even drop a comment to Scoob that just dropped on here. Scoob is a very knowledgeable paramotor pilot here on YouTube. So he has a lot of cool videos that he does. And so, but yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm here in my shop right now, and I'm actually getting ready to try to fly tomorrow. So I'm trying to get some pre-flight inspections. What's your favorite oil to use? So Scoob, so the oil that I have been using is Motor 800, you know, but I actually just got told how I should start using another type of oil because I just have been finding out that this builds up carbon pretty bad on the cylinder heads. And a couple of my other paramotor pilots actually use a different type of oil. I'm trying to figure out what that name is. Yes, a Scoop, you're using the same type of oil? Is that what you're saying? Oh, that's it. Okay, it was the AMSOIL. I was just trying to think about it. I was having a block there in my thought. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm trying to switch over to. So, from your personal opinion, how much are you liking the AMSOIL as opposed to the old motor oil, you know? I'm actually really curious to know what your opinion is because my pilot buddies I fly with, they're all doing that already. I'm just the only one that hasn't switched yet. All right, so you just switched. So you only got like a flight or two in on the gas? Huh, you just see Lulu come in here? So, Yuvraj, you mean like to mail one of these overseas? Is that what you mean? Oh, it does have fuel stabilizer in it? So that's even better for actually letting them sit for a while. That's actually pretty sweet. I didn't even realize that. So, Eric, what are you getting up to this weekend, buddy? When are you going to come out here and watch me fly? Oh, yeah, see, Scoob, that's actually pretty sweet, man. So, like, right before I hopped on the live, I was actually doing an overlook on the Expedition because my strap here for the airbox, I couldn't believe it, man. When Asmat last landed the Expedition, we went on almost a 3-hour flight, and I couldn't believe it. The ring that holds the airbox down, the hose clamp, dude, it was completely undone, and I cannot believe that it didn't come off and strike the prop, which I was pretty blown away with how it just stayed hugging on there. Yeah, Eric, it would be so cool if you came out here and got to see me fly around. Or maybe if I got to come to you and go flying around. That'd be really cool to go fly where you live. So what's so cool about Tucker Guy is that I travel a lot to California, and he told me that the next time I go to California to let him know, and the idea is I would mail one of these out to my brother's house, and then I would try to go hang out with Tucker over the weekend. So yeah, my goal is to go and hang out with Tucker and go do that. I do talk to Tucker here and there a lot on Instagram and stuff like that, and he's one of the coolest guys out there for sure, and I would love to go flying with him. But he is like me, a very busy person. There's always something going on, and but yeah, I'm hoping that soon, like this summer, I definitely get that chance to go hang out with Tucker for the weekend, go fly around where he lives now, and that would be pretty epic. Dude, Scoob, you talk about lucky. Asmat actually, too, had a motor out when he was flying this. So we made it to the fourth island, and when we got to that fourth island against that headwind, dude, he had a motor out, and I asked him, I said, "Oh, dude, what happened? Am I gonna have to turn around and go get the trucks?" And he's like, "Nah, dude, hold on a minute. I think your wire came undone." And I was like, "My spark plug wire?" And then he explained it to me when we landed back on the ground because he got it back running before I even came down to try to help him out. And it wasn't my spark plug wire that jumped off. It was my kill wire bounced off of the coil and it shut the motor off. And it was so crazy because it's hard to tell right now because of the way I have the camera and how the paramotors are, but that wire just jumped right off and it shut it right down. My buddy was having trouble starting his paramotor. Oh, really? Does he have a Moster 185? What's the issues that he's having? Because I've been actually doing a lot of research on these, and I've been doing a lot of work on them since I've worked on a couple in the past month now. It was like... yeah, okay, so a very similar issue then. Yeah, it's really odd to think, like, what the heck will cut that wire? But a lot of times, I guess, too, if it's, like, got a good bend to it, maybe it could just start to crack, let alone it being a cut, you know what I mean? But But no, but like I said, it was just so crazy. That's kind of why I want to fly this model tomorrow. Or realistically, I'll probably bring them both out. But the one I really want to take more on the journey is the Expedition. And I love this paramotor because it's so much lighter than the Star is. The Star is a very beautiful setup, hands down. It's much stronger, and I guess I could say it's much more reliable, but really the Expedition is just as reliable. It's just so feather lightweight that if I do an accident at all of my landing, it seriously pops. And that's why you can see that some of my spar arms are actually, I can turn this a little bit so you can see a little better. My spar arms, I have these two different ones on here that are just aluminum instead of the carbon fiber like this. And it's because of my bad landings. And I've also turtled that paramotor twice. Yeah, it's really crazy to think that whatever could have cut that wire. So that's in Virginia? Man, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's called the Spring Wing. Go on the Spring Wing. So that's a big fly-in on May 15th. That sounds awesome, dude. To the 19th? On the Eastern Shore of Virginia. Yeah, it's on Facebook. All right, dude, I'm going to have to check that out, man. That sounds super exciting. I would actually love to do something like that. Man, that sounds awesome, actually. Man, I want to do a fly-in so bad, too. I have actually yet to have done a fly-in. I kind of did one here, but it wasn't really a planned one or anything like that. Okay, it's right after Bad Apples. All right. Dude, because realistically, I don't think I can make it to Bad Apples. Bad Apples is a little bit more out west, right? So, you, Raj, when you're asking me if I'm going to collab with Tucker Gott, like, I'm on a talking basis with him. I talk to him all the time on Instagram. And, but, like I said, the only way I'll ever get that chance to hang out with Tucker is if I go out to my brother's in California. And like I said, I would have to mail one of these out. And then, like I said, we've talked, and he told me that if I was to come out, I'd get to, we'd hang out for like the weekend. I'd get to go flying around where he's at. And that would be really sweet, Bad Apples is in, Georgia, right? Are you talking about Georgia? For some reason, I thought it was like, what the hell is it called? Utah. I thought it was out in Utah. Okay, all right, that's good to know. Man, I would love to do that too, actually. That would be super sweet if I get the chance to go and do that. But yeah, actually, overlooking both of these paramotors, I feel like they're both ready to go for tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm probably going to go do an inland flight tomorrow, which is what I'm trying to push for. I've been doing so much beach flying that, like, beach flying truly is the best, but I swear that these paramotors get coated in sand, and that's the only thing I hate about it, And plus, like, with my chase cam, with the chase cam too, I hate how sometimes if I don't do my takeoff like really good, this thing nose dives into the sand and then it just eats up so much sand, which you guys can kind of see all the sand on the nose of it. And I hate that, but I've been learning that if I put this in front of my wing, opposed to behind it or on the side, which I've been doing all the time, it drags so bad that way when it's behind the wing, or if it's like on the, one of the edges of the wings. And then I've learned that if I bring it to me, like on the inside of the wing, like say if I'm going to do a reverse launch, stream frozen. Never mind, that was me. What do you mean by stream frozen? Oh yeah, definitely, Yuvraj. It would be amazing actually to go out there and go hang out in Arizona and go do that cool flying that you've been seeing that Tucker Gott's been doing in his epic videos. I've been talking to him so much about that stuff, and man, I would do anything to go out there and go fly around those crazy cliffs that he's doing. It looks so dope, And man, that would be cool. But that won't be realistically until probably sometime in the summer, or realistically maybe even in the fall time, which kind of stinks to think it's gonna have to be that long. But I have so much stuff going on myself, and with work and with me trying to be a YouTuber, and I'm trying to do, and we got all these car shows coming up. We can't forget about my street rod here. I have the street rod right here. It's actually all ready to go for the car shows, which I'm extremely excited about. Yeah, so see, if I was to go out there, the only way I'd be flying is in like basically perfect no wind weather. King of a random guy. Yeah, I'm never trying to push my luck or anything, and I'm not that. I want to say I'm an experienced pilot, but I'm not that well of an experienced pilot. Like, I'd like to say that I put my time in, but there's still a lot more things that I need to learn, a lot more things that I want to be doing. Like, yeah, I fly in really high winds for sure, but that doesn't make me a great pilot or, like, be ready to fly where the mountains are. I've never flown in the mountains yet. Oh, his YouTube channel is called King of the Random Guy. I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My neighbor, I thought was actually just coming over here just now, and they would be all bugged out if they knew I was doing a live while they tried to come in here. So I do have some of my neighbors that always come over here, and they know that I have a lot of construction tools, so they'll come over here, and they'll ask to borrow something, and then they'll be on their way. Yeah, it's a shame that, people die from this type of sport. But, I do believe that sometimes, people will push it, and that's not cool at all. And I'm not in it to push it. Oh, King of Random. Okay. Okay. Yeah, dude, Scoob, I want to look into that because, as much as I don't want to watch those kind of videos, it's always good to kind of get an understanding on why or how somebody got hurt or even got killed in the sport. Because for me, I always want to make sure that I stay away from that stuff, because I don't want to be the next guy or see anybody else be one of them guys, Exactly. Don't get it wrong. Right. I feel the same way after I watch the video. Like, in the beginning when I know what already happened, I'm always like cringing a little bit. But then after I'm done watching, it's like, wow, I know never to do that, And like, when I fly with my other paramotor pilot buddies, it's like a learning lesson every time because they do extreme stunts like Tucker Gott does and like, Kyle O and a couple other people. And, the one thing I've learned that, you just don't ever mess around low. You got to stay up high, you got to be smart, you got to be, making good decisions, But yeah, Scoob, I hear you on that. It's definitely always good to watch that stuff for learning, But yeah, regardless, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely ready for my next pre-flight. Oh, except my hoop section here is actually not tight yet, which I gotta do that right now. But anyway, so Scoob, what's your flying situation for the weekend? You getting any fly time in this weekend? Because I'm definitely trying to get some good fly time in tomorrow. Like I said, I'm trying to do an inland flight tomorrow for sure. Maybe even go fly to the Bayside, which would be pretty dope. Go fly from my local airport all the way down over there, depending on how the winds are. Yeah, it's so funny, man. I'm dying to meet him. You know what's really crazy? I actually wrote to him the other day after we last talked on one of my previous lives, and I reached out to him trying to ask if everything's all right because I haven't seen him posting anything. And I wrote this nice long message to him saying, "Hey, man, I hope that everything's all right. I miss watching your videos. I can't wait for your next one. Yeah, right now it's on the windier side here as well, and I'm hoping the same thing. I'm hoping that the winds do die down tomorrow, I'm hoping for that. So, but really though, man, I'll tell you what, After checking this Paramotor out, I'm pretty happy with how all this looks though right now, which is sweet. So, trying to remember how this actually gets tightened down here. That's funny that you actually say that. Another person actually told me that he takes a while to get back to you, which is totally fine. I just want to make sure that he was all right, you know. Because like I said, there's only a couple people that I really watch on YouTube, and that I actually really enjoy watching. You know, there's not a lot of people that YouTube that I actually enjoy to sit there and watch. You know. So I'm trying to recall how I do this loop here. I'm going to assume that I latch around this. Oh yeah, I'm over here not thinking correctly, so this is gonna be. Man, I can't actually recall how I did my hoop section here. Oh, okay, that's good to think. You know, I didn't even actually think about him actually doing his training, you know. It is cool how he does all that stuff, you know. Kyle is definitely one of the coolest for sure out there. And just the way he talks about paramotoring and how detailed he goes into it, you know, I absolutely love it. But man, I'm definitely trying to get some good fly time in tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it. And plus, I have a couple videos too that I'm about to be dropping, so I'm pretty stoked on that stuff too. Man, I can't believe that I can't actually figure out what I did for my hoop section. Kind of actually makes me a little mad that I can't recall. Alright, yeah, I just gotta really pull this sucker down. Alright, there it is. Oh, we almost had it, that shot. Man, I must have made this just too tight. So I'm about to have this in a second here. Then this is actually definitely ready to go. Alright, that's got to be like that. Come on, baby. Alright. Oh, so close every time. Oh, there it is. Almost got it. Come on, baby. Get in there. Alright, there it is. Boom. I was going to say. Alright, that's a nice tight hoop section now. Man, that was actually fighting me a little too hard. So, but anyway, yeah. So, like I said, we're here in the shop. I'm doing those pre-flight inspections, but, you know, I basically overlooked everything. And normally, what I always do is I check both of my props, make sure that they're on there nice and tight like they should. Always got to check those hose clamps now, because I can't believe how this hose clamp completely came undone, but it didn't come out. I can't believe it held and hugged tight enough for that not to be an epic failure on the prop, because that would have sucked. And like on this E-prop, right here, oh, come on, baby, get off. So I have a whole nother E-prop here, right? This is, I actually won this from SkyMax. SkyMax did this epic giveaway, and when they did the giveaway, the only thing you had to do was like take their post that they had up. You had to share it. You had to tag like a few of your friends. So I tagged, you know, a bunch of my paramotor pilot friends, and I couldn't believe it. I won the E-prop, and you know what was so cool about winning this E-prop? I literally, for the first time, like a week prior, purchased the MY22, and because like their giveaway that they were doing was only mainly for the Moster 185 engines, and it was just so amazing that I won this. But you know, I have chipped up this prop though from a couple things, and it's kind of hard to tell, but you know, I've done a little bit of work to this, you know, I'm gonna order the 140 Helix prop for the fly-in. Okay, yeah, nice, dude. Well, you gotta definitely let me know what you think about the Helix. You know, that would be pretty sweet. You know what's funny? My one pilot friend Tom, Pilot Tom, he flies the Helix, I believe, and it's only a 125, not the 140. So I definitely want to know about the. You do? So you've been flying the Helix already, or are you talking about you like the E-prop? Because, like, for me, I've only flown E-prop so far, and I have to say, I do love the 3-blade. The 3-blade is pretty epic. It's a huge difference having that 130 as opposed to the 125 with the 2. Oh, okay. All right, that sounds pretty sweet. I gotta get one. No, don't fall over. A little sketchy how I have these props up there. All right. But yeah, so now it's cool. Pretty smooth, huh? Yeah, I would love to know how it feels. I got to talk to Pilot Tom, I guess, a little more too about that because, like I said, he's got one, but he's got a 125. But yeah, the 140 is probably going to be epic. Okay. All right, that sounds really good to know, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Pilot Tom to let me try his out, and I'll try to talk him into trying the 3-blade so we can switch. You know, so I can get that feeling of the Helix opposed to my E-prop. You know, and plus, like, you know, it's so crazy. Like, yeah, no, Scoob, I definitely want to try it out. I'm really looking forward to trying it out, and hopefully, hopefully I can feel the big difference. You know. Dude, the 140's got to be amazing. I can only imagine what that would be like because the biggest prop I've seen so far was on Pilot Pat's Cosmo 300, and that was like a 154. Man, I want to say it was a Helix or something. I don't actually know what his prop was, but man, the thrust that came off the back of that sucker, man, when I was standing behind him, it was crazy. All I thought was like, man, that big prop really thrusts out, and I think it was a 154. I had to ask him what it was on there. Oh man, I bet you do get up with no problem. I've definitely noticed a dramatic difference though with the 133 blade for sure. The 133 blade, man, it sounds like it's really loud compared to the 2-blade, but the way that it picks me right up is dramatic difference. Okay, so, all right. Wow, right. So that's, yeah, so if you're feeling yourself getting lifted right off the ground like that, that must be really amazing. Yeah, I weigh 154. 154, but I'm not really that tall. I only am like 5'8" or 5'9", or yeah, 5'9". But yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, man, I'm pretty sure I'm all ready to go for my flight tomorrow, which hopefully everything works out pretty smoothly, which I don't see what's going to be an issue with that for sure, so. But man, I can't wait. I love this paramotoring adventure. Oh man, I bet you it would be dramatic. But you know what's so cool is that I got a couple cool flights up ahead that I can't wait to do, like me, Pilot Tom, and Pilot Ryan, and I can probably get Azmat in on it. We're gonna go try to fly up to 15,000 feet, which I'm super excited about. So Pilot Tom, he's flown up to 12,500 feet, and he wants to go up to 15,000 feet, which I'm all about, but it has to be, I'm talking fully perfect weather all the way up to that height. And I actually am super excited about it, and I can't wait to how I'm gonna video the whole thing too as well. So that means I'm gonna be bringing all my batteries in my pouch for my GoPros because there's no way it's gonna last that whole time. So that's what that's what Pilot Ryan and Pilot Tom have been telling me. So we're gonna have to like suit up like we're going out snowboarding in some freezing cold weather because he said that by the time we probably get above 6 to 7,000 feet is when we're going to start feeling a dramatic change in the weather, which is going to be insane. So I can't wait, and I can't wait to document the whole thing too. Like Pilot Tom made a comment that he would love to reach 18,000 feet, which I think is the legal limit for us. But I don't see the reason why we should go up that high. I'd rather just maybe get up to 15,000 feet and shut my motor off. That would be like where I'm trying to do, and then just have like this epic flight down from there. And plus, where I'm at in Jersey, I feel like we have a lot of air traffic, so like I don't know if we're gonna go out to the farm area, which would be a little bit more west of where I'm at, like more on the Delaware Bay side of Jersey, opposed to the Eastern Shore beach life side where I'm at. But we'll see. I'm super excited about the flight. I actually really can't wait. Wow, that's crazy, dude. See, yeah, I know it's gonna be a dramatic difference, and that's gonna be crazy. So, but then again, I guess with all the apps and stuff like that, we can definitely kind of find out what the temperatures are going to be kind of roughly like. So, definitely going to be putting on all the thermals when I'm going up there, because I don't want to mess around, man. Because I don't want to get up that high and then like totally pass out because I'm frozen. That's definitely not what I'm trying to do. But I do want to get up to that height. I would love to get up to 15,000 feet. And like I said, shut the motor off and then just like, as I like to call it, live the dream, coasting down for a while. I would absolutely love that. And plus, it would probably be so crazy to just be gliding for so long with just the motor off. That's something that I've been longing for this whole time since I became a paramotor pilot. And I haven't yet got that chance to have my motor off for much more than basically a landing. So I've shut my motor off a couple times in case of if I had to learn how to restart in the air. I've done that a few times, but never for more than a few minutes of having the motor off. But right, so that was another conversation that I was having with Pilot Tom, and he was saying how they do have, like, say on Amazon, oxygen tanks that we could bring that are these little setups. So, like, you can breathe air, oxygen in every so many minutes while we're up there, which I wouldn't be against doing if we're really serious about getting up to that 15,000 feet, because I feel like you're totally right. And that is really scary to me to think that, like, wow, I totally don't want to pass out. Yeah, so that's what we were strongly talking about, because like for me, I definitely want to be really prepared for the flight. I want to have everything, and if extra things, like I definitely want to overdress for sure. I want to sweat my butt off here on the ground at say like 88 degrees, and then be up at 15,000 feet if it was supposed to be like say 40 to 30 degrees up there. So I definitely want to overdress. I definitely want to be prepared with say that oxygen can, because that's the last thing I want to do is, pass out. That would be really bad. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to stay away from for sure. And but we'll see what happens, and that's going to happen probably right here in the early summer. So I really can't wait. I'm like super stoked about it. And like I said, you got to make sure that the weather is completely good all the way up to that, which is going to be hard to have a day to pick. You know how that goes with work, and then being able to jump to paramotoring. Like my paramotoring life is all about like a last minute. Like I never get the time because I'm always working or I'm always doing stuff with the family, and it's just life. And every time like it's the best time to be flying, it's a hot rod car show that I'm actually at, which I don't hate them at all. I love being at the car shows. I love that experience. And I love that I get to bring a car that basically nobody else has at any of the shows I ever go to. Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Scoob. Yeah. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. I almost wonder if I could put something like that on and have a wire, and then have like the sensor like above on my jacket or something. Eric, so what are you talking about? What broke? When I was flying? But yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, it would be sweet to have like a sensor going on. Yeah, it'd be really cool to have those sensors and stuff. So, what are you actually talking about, Eric? I've had a couple things break while I've been flying up in the air. Like, I've had bottom of my harness strap actually break, which one of the buckles actually gave out and exploded. I've had, like I said, my air box almost coming off, which nothing broke there. I was very lucky. I just had a hose clamp come undone and it just stayed hugging in that spot, which super lucky about. I've had a motor blow up on me while I was up in the air. I've had a motor out, which caused one of my first turtles I've ever done. And then I've also had other... Yeah, so the buckle right here, Eric, it's kind of hard to tell. Let me see if I can move the camera a little. So right here, Eric, I have this strap, right? This strap here goes all the way up to my shoulder strap. And right down here, it's kind of hard to tell right now because how far the camera is, but I have this plastic buckle that's there that ties around the frame and it keeps my shoulder strap kind of in place. And what happens is when you go flying up in the air with so much sunlight to the plastic gets brittle and it gets weak. And once you apply any pressure to a piece of plastic that's brittle and weak, they explode. And so that's what happened. That exploded when I was flying, and when it broke, this strap came back and it was just touching my prop. And so, like, when I thought something was snapping when I was flying, it was just my strap hitting the prop a very little bit, which I'm super lucky I didn't hurt my prop in that process, because anything hitting the propeller that's spinning that fast, typically the prop will explode because it's just carbon fiber. It's not that, it's strong, but it's not that strong of material. But yeah, so Eric, you watched that video of me up in the air that time? That was pretty crazy. But yeah, but realistically, I want to do that really high altitude flight. Eric, that's awesome that you watch my videos, man. I really do appreciate that. I actually really enjoy doing these videos, and I love sharing the experience. But yeah, I can't wait to do my high altitude flight with my other pilot buddies, and I have a cool race that's coming up that I can't wait to do. So, Yuvraj, it's funny that you say that. So, a buddy of mine, Pilot Pat, I just worked on his paramotor. That was the first Parajet that was in my shop that I did work on. And the reason why I had to work on his Parajet is because he did a water landing. And he actually showed the video on Instagram. And it was crazy. He was doing a foot drag, and it was where the shallow part of the water where it's receding back in. And he's just skimming, and a wave came over. A little wave, just enough to go over his foot. And when the wave went over his foot, it brought him right down. He sat right on his butt, and then he kind of went to his stomach side, you know? And it was a bit of a shame. His whole paramotor got soaked. His wing totally got drenched in the ocean water. But it didn't get dragged out in the water. It hit more on the shallow side than anything. But he got soaked, and he did some damage to the paramotor that I was actually able to clean up, prep, and prepare before he had to buy anything. I was able to fix it all, which was really nice, you know. And he was totally fine and safe. He didn't get hurt. If anything, he probably hurt his pride a little bit because he's actually a really great, experienced pilot. And it was just a little mistake, but, you know, you got to watch out for things like that, because sometimes in the paramotoring world, we get a little bit too comfortable with our situations, and he was in the sitting position when he was doing his foot drag, which, like, for me, I always like to be out of my harness. So, like, if we were to fall in a situation, you have a fighting chance to have a better chance to run out your landing from when you're sitting in the harness, because, you know, you're in relaxed mode when you're sitting, and I think that was kind of half his problem with that foot drag, you know. But regardless, though, of Pilot Pat, it was a crazy video that he posted, and we were able to fix his Parajet, no problem. I did have to pull his whole motor off of the frame and pull his whole pull start assembly apart, and his throttle went right into the sand, you know, so I had to take his whole throttle apart. I had to redo a couple things in there, but I didn't have to get him to spend any money on any new parts, which was pretty sweet. And a lot of times, especially with flying at the beach, regardless, we just build up so much sand on the paramotors that like you got to be ready to at times take things apart, clean them out, prep them up, and make sure that you know everything's always nice and clean. You know, like for me, I don't know if you guys can notice, but my paramotors, I always try to keep them really nice and shiny, really nice and clean. I try to keep the sand always off of them, you know, which isn't always easy to do, but I really enjoy trying to keep them clean. It's just like my street rod. I try to keep it really clean. But yeah, but anyway, you know, with these lives that I'm doing, my whole goal is to keep doing these lives maybe twice to 3 times a week. It seems like when I do it around 4 o'clock to 5, I get a little bit more attention from people, I guess, getting off of work. And I just really enjoy doing this. And I want to really engage more with you guys, my viewers. And I want to know more things about you and know what you guys really enjoy about my videos, because I really would like to try to start doing this full time. And you know, it's you know, I can't be any more grateful for the journey that I'm on, and be more grateful for you guys that are watching. It really does mean a lot to me, and I love it. You know, I love making videos. I love, you know, sharing the adventure with you guys. And you know, the money that I am raising here on YouTube, I'm trying to figure out how I can do these really cool epic giveaways and be giving it back to you guys as well, because I do have a full-time job doing carpentry right now, which I do love to do, but I would like to be doing this more. So so the reason why Yuvraj, I stopped on doing the trike was because I had a couple little issues with the idea of the design, and plus having the smaller motor now, say on this frame right here, which is the FX with the EOS on here. The problem with that now is that it's such a baby size motor that like it would still work, but it would be more work into always trying to get it off the ground than really more fun. So the idea is I'm actually in the works of buying one through SkyMax. I'm going to buy a pre-made one already, so I can be able to hook both up to these guys and do a video on what SkyMax has as their trike style, which I'm really looking forward to getting. But that's there. It's still like a little bit of time out on that. I think I won't be ready to get that for at least another month. Right, and the motor, Yuvraj, that used to be on the FX frame here was actually a 250cc. But the problem was with that motor, it was so much older, it was so stupid heavy that I had to get it off. And I don't want to use that motor for anything but like if I was to build a fan boat one day, because it's dumb. It's too heavy. It weighs heavier than any other thing in my shop right now outside of my street rod. But yeah, you're totally right, Yuvraj. You want something that's at least a 27 horse and higher. Like the motor that's on this frame now is only a 21 horse. So, but yeah, regardless of where I was trying to get at, I'm trying to figure out the days to do my lives more. Like I really did enjoy doing it on a Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and I really like doing it again on a Friday at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to try to at least aim for that right now on Wednesdays and Fridays. Okay, so I do have to admit, Scoob, that I agree with you on that for sure. So like the frame that I was trying to build was almost like too much work in the process. And don't get it wrong, it would have been definitely flyable. It's just that after talking to SkyMax, I kind of put myself on a halt for that because they're going to send me a trike. So that's the only reason why I kind of stopped doing my build. And plus, I've seen, I've had a pilot that weighs 230 pounds that has flown my expedition with no problem, especially on the beach with the laminar winds. He went right up without running at all, you know. I really do believe it's all about the wing size, and it depends on the wind. And, you know, when you have those two factors played into the weight size, it's no different from any size motor, you know. And, dude, Scoob, I'm jealous that you've flown the Atom 80 because I still haven't yet had that experience. I would love to fly the 80, you know. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to actually hop off this live. I want to aim and do these lives for basically an hour long. And right now, we've been on the live for 50 minutes, and it makes me happy because, you know, right before I came on, I already kind of did a little pre-flight inspections on here, and I was kind of trying to see how it would go to do a little video on the pre-flight inspection for a live, just hanging out in the garage. But regardless, like I said, I have some cool videos that I'm about to be dropping that I've been working really hard on. And yeah, like I said, I want to try to stick with Wednesdays at 4, Friday at 4, and keep seeing how that goes. Maybe squeeze in another day. Maybe do it on Mondays. So I really do appreciate all of you for watching. Scoob, I'll talk to you later. We got to hang out sometime and fly together. So I'm going to check out that next fly-in. You know, I would love to be a part of any of the fly-ins. You know, I feel like I'm going to miss Bad Apples this year. But it would be cool to try to hop in on the other one. So we'll see how that goes. I got to look at my scheduling. And, dude, definitely. So, until the next one, everybody, I really do enjoy making these videos. And I enjoy hanging out in my shop, and I enjoy sharing the experience with you guys. So, until the next one, everybody, thanks for hopping on the live, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.